Right, okay, so welcome back. So this is the last video in this little mini-series. So this is sort of the wrap-up and the conclusion, really. So we've started from, buying a domain, getting WordPress on it, and then now we've got this kind of okay-looking blog. We've covered pretty much all the basics now, and I feel that everything that I've covered in this little series of videos is enough for you to get going and starting your own site or starting your own blog, albeit whatever the niche is, you'll be able to get going now. I feel you should be confident enough to make a start. Any questions you have, obviously get in contact with me. You know my website at bankswebdesign.co.uk. There's a contact form on there. There's my email address is on there. If you want any more, just give us a shout. So let's just recap what we've done. Okay, so we've gone from how to install WordPress on a new domain. Like I recommend using SiteGround. You don't have to, you can use whatever one you want, but my recommendation will always be SiteGround. We've then talked about how to create your first post. We've then gone into how we add images into the post, and obviously we've talked about changing the size of the images as well. Where to get free pictures from, Pixabay, a great website. Highly recommend you get an account with them, because I know if you're anything like me, at some point or another you will use them. Just for this little exercise, it's been really useful actually. We've talked about adding categories. We've also talked about adding tags, the importance of adding tags. Then we went into a little bit about links, external links. So for example, if you're linking out to another website, perhaps there's a similar site to you, or something that has perhaps a bit more authority than you, that you want to sort of back up what you're writing about, you could link out to them. It's also a good way to build up relationships, and people will then link back to you, you'll find, so it's worth doing. We also talked about the importance of internal links and how that helps the flow of the site. We then discussed and showed how to change the header. Now this, I must stress, is not going to be the same with every theme. All themes have slightly different setups, but essentially, once you've done it once or twice on one or two different themes, you'll find it's a very similar process. We then went into talking about changing the admin names from the default that you install it with, so that it becomes a bit more of a sort of user-friendly and a bit more of an attractive looking name. How to add featured images at the top of the blog posts to make the post a bit more stand out a bit more. We then discussed briefly, just very briefly, widgets and how to add and remove them, primarily focusing on the default ones. But again, with widgets, I could make a whole, hundreds other videos on just widgets alone, but that at least covers the basics. We then went into pages and the top navigation menu, so you should be able to now add some pages and add a menu. Then there was the contact form 7, which is a great plugin, really useful. I use it on pretty much all of my websites. Then we went into videos, adding videos to posts. Share buttons we then talked about very briefly. Again, there's a whole load of those, hundreds, probably even thousands of different ones you could use. Have a play around, see which ones you like. I then made a bit of a brief video on the use of Canva, which is a nice little tool, an online sort of image editing software. Really good for making your featured images stand out. That's what I use on some of my sites, and I showed a little example there of what you can do with that. The last video that we talked about was just adding Yoast and the importance of sitemaps. Now, there will be another section just on Yoast, because that you can go into quite a bit of detail on that. But for now, just installing it, using it in the post like I talked about, and making sure that you've got a sitemap enabled is a darn sight better than having nothing done. So just at least make sure you do those 2 steps. I should probably recap that Yoast has actually got its own sitemap in it. So if you're going to do anything, just do Yoast. At least just do Yoast. So I should probably end with just saying that if you want anything else, if you feel like you want to take it to the next level, I mean, we haven't even touched on all the other aspects of it, how to monetize the site, how to put in, for example, if you wanted to add AdWords, AdSense, some native ads, if you want to talk about email sign-ups, if you want to talk about lots and lots of different marketing techniques, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all that sort of thing, then I will be making some more courses very similar to this. So if you want to sign up to my newsletter, which is just here on the bankswebdesign.co.uk newsletter, then I can let you know straight away. Or just email me. My email address, john@bankswebdesign.co.uk. So thanks very much for watching these videos. I hope they've been helpful. Any feedback's greatly appreciated. So if you want to just drop some comments in, or like I say, just get hold of me through any of these channels, then I do read everything that I get. Thank you very much again. Goodbye.